Hi, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, your guide on this journey on this channel. I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for such a positive response to the human design profile videos. I know, obviously, if this is your first time, welcome. But the last time I put out videos, I said that I was going to be focusing more on the human design profile readings versus doing both those and the zodiac sign readings. And I also said that was just the guidance that I received, basically. So I feel like, it's following my strategy and authority, following that feeling. So, that's what we do, even if it doesn't make sense to us. So there is a link in the description below if you don't know your human design profile. Even if you don't know anything about human design, this isn't necessarily to teach you about human design or, kind of be so advanced that you don't get it. This is more just message by profile because it's just an added element, a different way of receiving messages outside of your sun, moon, rising, right? So it is still about the tarot message. And of course, I do generally give some sort of blurb about each profile before we begin. So with that being said, we're using the Oracle of Destiny and the Muse Tarot today. I was kind of like, for a couple days, I was just kind of like whining to myself because I haven't bought any new decks and I can't even tell you how long. But then I was reminded that I had bought this deck and another one these were probably the last, this deck and the other one is probably the last decks that I bought. And I just kind of put them on a desk out of the way and totally forgot about them. So I was glad that it, kind of presented itself like, hello, I'm here, I'm new. So we're going to use it and the Muse. What was that? The World? Oh, that was the Wheel. Interesting, because I've seen that a lot lately. Anyway, let's get into it. Hi. So, I like to have a little diddly that just kind of talks about, the aspects of your profile. I like to share that at the beginning of each reading. And this time, though, I found, this was back in July, and unfortunately the creator didn't put their name on each slide. So I don't know who created it. Can't find it. I would love to credit them, but it's called the 12 Archetypal Defense Mechanisms of the Not Self series by Profile. We generally talk about the positive aspects of each profile. We don't generally talk about the opposite side of that. So let me know if this sounds like you in the comments. It says 2-4. They are unaware of feeling unaccepted. They are always shocked when other people reject or resist them, and consequently, they gradually shut themselves off in their own busy little worlds. So yeah, does that sound like you? They are unaware of feeling unaccepted. They are always shocked when other people reject or resist them, and consequently, they gradually shut themselves off in their own busy little worlds. It's kind of like I keep hearing that, is it that the book, The Four Agreements? And one of them is to not take anything personally, because almost nothing is about you, basically. Let's get your oracle card. We'll get your tarot cards. We have chains. Chain. We'll read about this from the book. But before we do that, let's get your tarot out. We have 8 of Emotions, or the 8 of Cups. We have 3 of Swords. We have the Judgment card, or Awakening. Clearly going through something. Maybe. Let's see what the other 3 cards are. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Love that. It's way too many cards. We just need 2. We have the World. I love that. I mean, even though they're kind of like backwards to each other, but the World comes after the Judgment card. And I love a progression. It's just like it makes my toes curl. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. King of Cups, Knight of Cups. Okay, so let's see what this Chains card has to say. You can look at it if you want to. I will read about it. It says, aspect of the hand. Any line can look like chains, making it irregular and poorly defined, visually similar to a chain. In general, they indicate that aspect of life will not be experienced linearly. We will face indecisions, obstacles, setbacks, and struggles. On the headline, it means uncertain ideas and fickle memory. On the heart line, it is a warning that says to learn to follow your heart more. Divinatory meaning. Something binds us, preventing us from going more deeply and freely into what we are experiencing. Perhaps we are not following our hearts. Maybe we are letting our minds get confused. Maybe we make impulsive decisions that we regret. It is time to free yourself from these chains. Yeah, it is. It's almost kind of like, with this pairing here, it was like letting go of expectation. Like if you expect something to go a certain way, it won't. Most times it won't. And then you're disappointed. Like, instead of enjoying how it did unfold, we just get stuck in how it didn't and how disappointed we are in that. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the 8 of Cups, we start with the 8 of Cups here, and the 8 of Cups is about walking away from something. It's recognizing when a situation, a feeling, a behavior, whatever it is, has, really kind of served its purpose. Because traditionally in the 8 of Cups, those 8 cups are empty. There's nothing left in there, right? So it's either you drank all of them, or again, like the energy that was available in those cups served its purpose and there's nothing left there. But more importantly, the 8 of Cups is walking towards the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, your desires being met. There's this big moon here, and we actually have the solar eclipse happening on Sunday. And in some places, you'll see this ring of fire here. I think it's more like the Southwest. We'll see that. I'm in Colorado. I think we'll see like 80% coverage or something like that. But that's interesting. Specifically since that is coming up this weekend. So you might even want to see where Libra is in your chart, because this is happening in Libra. So wherever Libra is in your chart, whatever properties that house has, you might recognize some changes going on in that aspect of your life over the next year. Even, it looks like she's even like kind of walking up a sand dune. This feels very deserty. So there is kind of this like feeling about Well, for one, hello, moving forward, because that's what the Eight of Cups talks about. But also, like, since they are by themselves, it's like it's a decision that you have to make, and maybe one that you feel like you're kind of on your own with. And I love that it's paired with the Nine of Pentacles, because the Nine of Pentacles is about independence. So maybe there is some aspect of your life where you are gaining independence. It doesn't specifically have to be like financially, because obviously Pentacles talk about our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's also our time. What are we investing our time in? It's our physical health. Nines are about individual completion. Not to mention, we go from 8 to 9 here too. And like I said, I love a progression. Even though they're not in the same suit, but they are, you know, like right on top of each other. So anytime I see a progression, that just tells me that, you know, it's like you're moving through the energy, or you should be, if you don't feel like you are. But this is movement forward. So again, with the Nine of Pentacles, there could be some sort of financial independence that you are reaching, like some level of that. It could be an increase in your finances that is giving you more independence or freedom. You know, nines have everything to do with you. So it could even be like a health or, like a health diagnosis that is going to make you feel better. Even too, you know, I mean, like this kind of feels like recognition, because there's this hand and it looks like they're, you know, like the roses are falling out of their hand here. So you could be getting your roses from somebody, like, you know, some sort of recognition in some aspect. But it's going from maybe even like changing your perspective in some capacity, but it's going from this desert kind of vibe to, you know, there's succulents, there's flowers, you know, it's brighter in this card too. Even their body language is, you know, more excited and free and animated feeling. So again, right? But I mean, it's like making this decision to move forward. That could have something to do with that eclipse that's coming up this weekend, which is in Libra. There's another eclipse that's happening at the end of the month, which is in Taurus. So you might even want to see where Taurus is in your chart. But specifically, though, I think Libra is probably more because we have the solar eclipse and because the moon is going to be in front of the sun like this, which is, you know, this is like an image of the Ring of Fire on this card. So, yes. Maybe you have, you know, like major planets in Libra in some capacity in your chart. Like maybe there's just transits that are coming up that are going to benefit you more in the physical realm than the mental or, you know, kind of motivation and feelings realm. Because Pentacles, Earth, 3D, physical, Could even be breaking some chains here, you know, like something, because this even kind of feels like a little bit of that devil energy of, and the devil card is Capricorn, so it's Earth also, and I know we don't have it out here, but, you know, the devil card talks about like, what are the things that we allow to control us? Is it thought patterns? Is it behavior patterns? Is it conditioning? Is it fear? You know, like, it's also like obsessive things, it's addictions, it's distraction, judgment, you know, like kind of those lower level things that just prevent us from moving forward. So there could even be something here about breaking some chains. And then we have the Three of Swords. And I feel like in the book it was talking about, I have no clue what it actually said. So it is time to free yourself from your chains. Okay, yeah. Maybe we make impulsive decisions that we regret. Yeah, something binds us, preventing us from going more deeply and freely into what we are experiencing. This, okay? So it's like literally releasing that. recognizing that it's not serving your higher purpose. And if anything, it is preventing you from experiencing things from the Nine of Pentacles, from feeling abundant, from feeling independent, from, like feeling like you're taken care of, or that you will be taken care of in the physical plane. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak, disappointment, rejection. Swords have to do with our mind and our, how we perceive our reality. I also see swords as being our ego, because it's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, feelings, people, whether they were our stories that we created somehow, or they were imprinted onto us by other people. But it's like the reasons why we do and don't do things. It's what makes up our personality and our temperament, right? So the Three of Swords, as we can see, right? They're hiding behind this door. There's this, image out here in space where they're crying. Feels very like desolate out here, very lonely, right? But it's the state of mind. It's like, not heartbreak in the way that we feel about it, but heartbreak in the way that we perceive it. What is a story that we are attaching to heartbreak? And heartbreak, of course, it doesn't have to be specifically like, romance or whatever. It could even be something from a long time ago, but it's something that we've been carrying around. Like, what is making us kind of hide behind this door? Also, there's this, it feels like there's three spotlights here that no matter how you hide, it's like it finds you. It's kind of like no matter where you go, there you are type of thing. And specifically with it paired with the World card, there's an opportunity here to release something involving the Three of Swords, literally for your own good. The World card is the end of a cycle. It's truly, it's the end of the Fool's journey. So the lessons that you needed to learn, the experiences that you needed to experience, all of those things have happened on this particular journey, and the energy is available to close that out in order for you to start a new one. So by making this decision, right, to like move towards your bliss, be in this Nine of Pentacles energy, it might even force you in a certain capacity to face this Three of Swords. And what is it that is holding you back, or what thoughts are you thinking? And what is no longer serving your highest good? Is there an opportunity for healing here? Because with the World card, there would be a new understanding of a thing and a true release of that thing too. And then with the Judgment card after that, that's awakening, right? So there's this transformation happening, whatever it is that's with this Three of Swords and the World card is going to transform the way that you view yourself, you view the world. It's going to change how you interact with yourself and interact with the world. It could even, even change the vibration that you put out into the world. And what's so interesting is that the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the whole deck. It's still like movement forward, but it's slow because, the time in 3D is different than our perceived time or how we would like things to unfold, right? Or even time in the 5D or literally anywhere else in space, basically. But in this card, it almost kind of looks like they're moving fast. This horse looks like they're galloping. That's not slow. Also, they have this wreath on here, which to me feels like victory. It's almost like taking a victory lap. And not to mention we have a rose here. There's roses in the wreath, but specifically this pink rose at their ear, which, is coming from this Nine of Pentacles. this is even a progression from the Nine of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, and right between it is the World card. So something, it has to end in order for this transformation to happen here. The Knight of Pentacles does require a commitment and a dedication, but also I feel like the Judgment card does too, because it's almost like committing to this new self, this new awakened version of yourself, but also like even allowing it time to sink in. You know, like it's like allowing yourself to discover these new things about yourself. Like maybe you think about things differently, or maybe you handle money differently, maybe you see work differently, maybe you see commitment differently. Like there's something that, like, I just get this feeling about like allowing there to be enough space and time for yourself. Like don't rush yourself through this like unfolding with the Awakening card. And truly, right? I mean, like, we didn't become who we are overnight. I mean, things happen in a blink of an eye, but as far as like how that changes our personality and the way that we do things and the decisions that we make, those are like a culmination of different, you know, thought patterns and behavior patterns and all of that stuff, right? Good or bad. But it's kind of like the same thing here. Like it's almost like, you know, maybe there's something that hits right away, like this realization that happens, but it's going to take time in the physical world and your physical body to acclimate. And then we have the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Traditionally, this talks about losing sleep, anxiety, overthinking, stress. But in this deck, it doesn't feel that way to me. Just like the Knight of Pentacles, it doesn't feel slow. I mean, you know, the meaning is still there. Like maybe, you know, again, it could be a lot of mental work, because again, it's like, okay, so how does this look for me then? Like, you know, what is this new thing that I'm trying out? Like this new, and again, swords having to do with our minds, right? So, you know, thinking differently. How is this going to exist in my mind now? Because it feels like this figure is almost like holding this veil together in order for this person to sleep down here. And traditionally, in the Nine of Swords, the person is sitting up, their hands are in their head is in their hands. They look like they're not sleeping at all, and this person is like sleeping like a baby. So it could even be, you know, like a lot of this stuff might even be happening in your sleep. Maybe pay attention to your dreams. Maybe write your dreams out if you have good or bad dreams. You know, like maybe there's something that comes through a dream that you can work through in the when you're awake. This could even be finally getting some good sleep, because like I said, this feels like this figure out here, and maybe even this figure is these eyes that were crying, because this is more in outer space, you know. So maybe this figure, they're not crying anymore, they're now holding the veil together so that you can sleep. Nines are also individual completion, so there is something, even with the meaning of the Nine of Swords, there is something where, you know, a way of thinking is coming to a close, overthinking, anxiety, fear, all of that is like, you know, complete. There's nothing else to really, there's no other which way that something could go that you haven't thought of yet. We have the King of Cups, which is, kings are the highest expression of the suit. This is understanding your feelings. This is, you know, being very much emotionally mature, empathy, intuition, also having compassion for yourself, but also your story, your journey, understanding that from an emotional standpoint. We have the Knight of Cups, which is following your heart, allowing your heart to lead the way. We have the Four of Swords after that, which is rest and giving your mind a break and healing. This is quite the journey. my 2 4s. Very interesting. This could this all of a sudden though, like I'm just like I'm getting this like something that has been causing you problems is coming to an end. I might have already said that, but for whatever reason I went right back to this, and I'm like, if there has been something that has been causing you stress, that has been making you feel rejected, or just kind of keeping you in this small kind of feeling, that's coming to an end. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.